gabagool, the pepper ham. Alright, right on folks, John Crane here in my shop, and today we're going to take a field trip over to Seattle. Now I got to pick up some supplies for some jobs I'm working on, but I want to take you guys along for some fun places that I like to stop in Seattle while I'm picking up supplies, such as this place called Second Use. Now they're on 6th Avenue in South Seattle. They're kind of like an old salvage yard. You never know what you're going to find there. I think they tear down old houses and factories. They're just loaded with all kinds of old tools, building supplies, antiques. You never know what you're going to find there. I always find something when I stop in there. And then after that, I think we're going to visit Tats Delicatessen. We're going to get a sandwich. You know, what's a trip to Seattle without stopping at Tats? And then I'm going to give you a little scenery on the Puget Sound Ferry, on the Washington State Ferries. These are huge ferries. You know, you can put a tractor trailer on these ferries. They're so big. And the scenery is just gorgeous around the Puget Sound. So that's going to be at the end of this video. All right, let's head on out to Seattle. All right, here we are at Second Use on 6th Avenue in Seattle. Building materials and salvage, the Costco of junkyards. You never know what you're going to find here. Usually out front here, they got a bunch of old rusted machines. You never know what you're going to find. Look at this old thing. It's like an old shopsmith. We got a joiner, a planer, a bandsaw, just enough to cut your arm off. All right, you got to sharpen that old sword. I remember my buddy Dan Blythe always had one of these sitting in the yard in New Jersey. And what's a junkyard without a Toledo scale? And check out this old blacksmith bellows. You wonder what was forged with this old boy. Need a sign for your new steakhouse or man cave? And of course, they've got lots of building materials and supplies everywhere you look. And check out this. This must be an old piece of a bridge. Look at these old hot rivets. Must be early 1900s. And then this thing, I thought this was cool. This could be a cool piece of art. An old steel base. I have no idea what it is, but it looks really cool. And I actually wanted to take it home. I don't know. What would you do with it? And these old cable winches, I thought these were great. And look at the price on these. This is only 65 bucks. I actually wanted to get one of these and fix them up. I could put that to some use. And then we got Fire Marshal Bill here with the foam fire engine. And look at this old anchor. I just love this thing. I don't know. Maybe I watched too much Sanford and Son when I was younger, but I just love junk and I want to bring it all home. Now I'm definitely a sucker for old Craftsman tools. This kind of reminded me of that old table saw that Randy Richards was working on a while back. And here we go. This is a horizontal boring machine. I thought this was really cool.
A wooden bandsaw.
Yeah, you heard that right. A wooden bandsaw. Check out this. And it actually is pretty ingenious. Whoever worked on this thing put a lot of time into it. It looks like it was running on that electric motor. Look, they made wooden pulleys and the whole 9 yards. Look at this Gilligan's Island contraption, you know, putting this together with some old coconuts. But, you know, I guess where there's a will, there's a way. Here's an old Wilton Vice. Looks like it's seen better days. I don't know. They got 195 on it. I'm saying, I don't know, 50 bucks, 50 bucks. And this I thought was pretty cool. I'm getting into a lot of the old Coleman lanterns. But this is an old lead smelter. A lead, you know, heating pot here. Looks all rusted up. 65 bucks. I don't know. Now this piece I almost bought, and now I'm thinking I might go back for it if it's still there. But this is an old Pexto and Wilcox bead roller. Not a bad price on that. This, it looked like it was in decent shape too. I spun it around a little bit. It has a couple dies on the rollers. Nice piece. I like doing the metal work. And I'm always a sucker for an old oil can. And look at this. They have got tons of old salvaged wood, slabs, all kinds of wood here. Oh, and I checked out, I went through some secret door. I don't know. I went into this section here, and they had all kinds of cool stuff, like this old car. I don't know, an old bumper car. Got some statues here of the Blues Brothers. It went on and on. Oh, I love these old tables. I thought this was a pretty good price. $75 for that old vintage table. And check this out. I actually really wanted to get this, an old like animatronic Rudolph. I really wanted to take that home. And then they had all of this old wood that had the holes in it. I think all this stuff was brought up from the bottom of the Puget Sound or something, right? They salvaged these logs from the bottom of some rivers. They got a ton of this stuff here. Pretty cool looking. And then lots of flooring. You know, I think they're tearing down old houses. Got aisles and aisles of old doors and chandeliers. I really do like old lighting, right? You need a snare drum light. How about some old porthole glass here for your boat or your man cave, right? Stick that up on the wall. And here's another, I don't know, race car thing. It had a fabric covering on it. I could see getting in there and running this thing down the road. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see a peanut roasting machine, right? You never know what you're going to find in this place. Professor Marvel's famous peanut roasting machine. And then right next to it, look here. Who's serving up the peanuts but this old piggy here? And I think this piggy could use a little ride on this. This is one of those fat, jiggling vibrator machines. Last I saw one of these was with Jackie Gleason on the Honeymooners. I think him and Norton had that thing going, shaking around Ralph's belly. This thing looked pretty cool. All right, and anytime I see these mechanical calculators, I have an appreciation for these because my grandfather was a machinist at Monroe Calculator, and he made these calculators in his youth there, and that's where he spent most of his career, was at Monroe Calculator. This here is an old Kodak photo enlarger. I tell you, it's amazing what you can do with a cell phone nowadays. And here is an old spotlight searchlight for a boat. I actually bought one of these from Second Use a while back, and I need to restore mine, so I'm just checking theirs out to get some details. But this one is in such great shape. Another thing I always wanted to get was a letterpress. This one looks awesome. And this gun, I did end up buying this. This is like a sonic ear listening device. You'll see a future video on that. And canvas. Lots and lots of canvas. $10 a roll. That's an awesome price on that. And these old heaters. Look at this old heater. I don't know, for some reason I really like this deal. It's an old Sunbeam. Look at those heating elements in there and that fan. I actually wanted to get this too. I guess I'm just a junk collector. Here's an old Coleman cooler. I love any old Coleman stuff. And then they got a bunch of old radios. This is like an old radio that would be in the wall. And then, oh yeah, here, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this. It's an old Coleman quick light gas pressure lamp. $20. I snatched this thing up. It's not in bad shape at all. I dated this thing to about 1920. It's missing the lampshade, the glass lampshade. And so I started hunting around the store because they do have a bunch of old glass lampshades. And so I looked through them, but I did not find a match here for this Coleman lamp. But I am excited about that Coleman lamp. I'm going to restore that. You guys are going to see that on a future video as well. And I tell you, I am a sucker for old lamps and lanterns and lights and light fixtures. And they got a ton of that here. Old taxidermy and tin toys. Actually, I thought this racetrack was pretty neat here. Electronic racetrack. I wonder how this thing worked, right? We got the toll booths. We got the bridge. We got the Woodhaven Motel. It's got a little on-off thing right there. I wonder. You know, that looked pretty cool. And look at this Singer, 155, right? Another Toledo scale. Oh, and I'm back here again at the Searchlight because I wanted to see how this handle works with the light, because I need to put a handle on mine. It's pretty neat. Up and down, tilts it, rotate it left and right. I don't know, just a great looking light. And here's an old 3-drawer Kennedy. I don't know if you remember the restoration I did on a box exactly like this. And these 3-drawer ones are a little bit rare to find. You mostly see, like the 6-drawer ones. But $125, that's a fair price. That's they're going for more than that online. And these things look like you transport like torpedoes on these on a Navy ship or something. But maybe something for a factory. And this lamp, I had an exact copy of this when I was younger in my 20s. I sold it for $5 at a garage sale. Now feeling like an idiot. Look, it's going for $3.45. All right, that was a great little visit there at Second Use. You never know what you're going to find. I stop in here every few weeks just to check and see what they got. And speaking of pigs here, let's go over to Tats. All right, it's good that they're open. Sometimes you get here and they are all sold out, or sometimes there's a line around the block, right? You got to get those tasty cakes, though. Shipping those in from Philly. All right, look at that, man. That looks deluxe. The Tats Italian, heavy on the oil and vinegar. All right, these guys at Tats, they really do you up good, and they are so nice in there. Couldn't be nicer. A little touch of home for me, being from New Jersey. Getting some Tats. All right, here we go. I'm in the car waiting for the ferry boat here. Heading back over, but I gotta dig into the Tats Italian. Look at this here. We got the hot and sweet peppers. We got the gabagool, the pepper ham. We got the provolone, the Genoa salami. I told them heavy on the oil and vinegar. Let's have a bite. Oh my God. Right? I know you guys on the East Coast are spoiled, but out here, this is hard to come by. Tats is one of the only places that makes a sandwich like this. And those guys are great in there. Couldn't be nicer. So I know there's Jersey Mike's, but come on. Tats is the way to go. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a fun day over in Seattle picking up some supplies. Hitting Second Use, that is a great spot to walk around. If you're in Seattle, definitely check out Second Use. They got some awesome stuff. And of course, you got to hit Tats. Over there, check out Tats. Second and Yesler. Best sandwich in Seattle, hands down. All right, now I'm heading for the ferry boat. And these iPhones, the front facing or the other facing camera here, it's like you look like your eyes are going crazy. You got to stare off to the side to have it straight. Anyhow, I'm getting on the ferry boat, heading across the Puget Sound. I'm going to leave you guys with some footage of crossing the Puget Sound. It's a beautiful crossing on the ferry boat. Definitely recommend it. If you come out to Seattle, get on a boat, head out to the islands. All right. Hope you guys are all doing great, and I'll see y'all soon. Right on. The gabagool.